Hello, my name is Mark Benedetti, and I'm the Executive President of Ardian. And I'm pleased to be sitting here with a friend of mine and colleague, Charles Adjakpa. And we thought we'd have a conversation today where we ask each other a few questions.
Thank you, Mark. So, my name is Charles Adjakpa. I'm a Client Servicing Director and also Co-President of the M Committee. Mark, you ready?
Let's do it.
So, can you tell us about Ardian's new government structure and your role in it?
In September of last year, we put in place a new governance structure. I've become the Executive President, and we have a general management team of 5 other people. We've all been working together for many, many years, and we all come at it from different directions, so this new governance structure allows us to really focus on the day-to-day operations and propelling the company for the next 10 years and allowing Dominique Sénéquier to have time to think about the more overall strategic decisions for the company.
Excellent.
Next question. What are you aiming to achieve as president of the Millennial Executive Committee?
As you know, we had 3 main focuses: business efficiency, sustainability and impact, and attract and retain talent. My personal goal was to ensure inclusivity, to make sure that the 18 voices were heard and that everyone were remaining engaged to the chosen project. And the goal has been achieved, so I want to give a huge credit to the team for this. It's now time for us to pass the baton. And we received a lot of excellent applications, and we are very excited to select the next generation of young leader of Ardian.
That's great.
You ready for your next one?
Please.
So, Mark, we are talking here today in New York. So what are your ambitions for Ardian over the next years?
Ardian's been a growth story from the beginning of its founding. But what's very exciting is the growth story is just the beginning. If you look at where we're present, and there's a lot of areas where we're best in class, we have world-leading funds, world-leading activities, and that's why we've been able to achieve this growth. But there's still a lot of white space that we have not yet fully developed in U.S. direct, in U.S. real estate, in U.S. private debt, huge markets which were not yet present, but we have ambitions to become present there. My turn.
Yeah, go for it.
What does Ardian need to do to keep attracting talented young people?
The Millennial Committee, representing talented young professionals within Ardian of 35 and below, is also doing just that, by giving them the opportunity to shape and impact Ardian. But I would say giving them a voice might not be the only thing we can do. What we'd also do is to make them feel that they have a place at Ardian, whatever their walks of life. As long as they live by Ardian's value, which are excellence, loyalty, and entrepreneurship. And finally, I would say furthering our commitment to finance a sustainable growth for our planet, and also expanding our philanthropic engagement are very strong feature, in my opinion, to increase our attractivity towards this generation.
I agree.
Ready for your next one?
Please.
We're on a roll. How can Ardian strengthen its unique culture as the company gets bigger and more global?
I think the reason why the company has been so successful from the start, the culture is very specific, very unique, and very differentiating. We're a group that thinks a lot about the collective good, also about success. Excellence is being one of our core values. Entrepreneurship is another core value, which is key. And it's going to be challenging, but extremely important to continue our culture, our way of doing business as we grow and grow our footprint. We have no ambitions to change that. We have ambitions to grow in the same way that we've always been doing. A few examples, when we're doing buyout deals, we're sharing a big portion of the profits with the teams who are managing these companies, the management teams and the staff in the companies that we're buying. So when we have a great outcome or a great exit, they have a great outcome. We have a culture where people work very well together. You've worked in London, you've worked in New York, you work in client servicing, but now you're also working with Millennial committee. So I think this collaboration environment and all working together for one goal is very important. And I would sum it up with a word of saying one Ardian. On to my next question. How would you like to see the company develop over the next 10 years?
The way over the next 10 years I would like to see Ardian grow would be to further the collaboration between teams. I think this is key for maximizing our synergies. And when I say synergies, I'm talking about among investment team and non-investment team. And the cross-selling initiative that we launch through the Millennial Committee is a good example of this. And I would also like, as we keep growing, that Ardian remain a place where people work side by side, regardless of their background, to do their best to achieve the required desire of our investors. And finally, I would say, by doing so, keeping in mind, which Ardian already does, but try to address the best of our abilities, two challenges that our society is facing, our planet and the rise of inequality. Can Ardian continue growing as it did during its first decade?
I think that, going from 30 billion of AUM, as I mentioned it before, to approaching 170 billion is incredible growth. Yes, I think we can keep growing, and I think we can keep growing in a very important way. We see consolidation happening in private markets, and the reasons, when you take a step back, make a lot of sense. The world is getting more complex. Raising money in different geographies from investors is more and more difficult, more and more regulation. The regulatory landscape just keeps getting more complex every day. If you think about private wealth, accessing that market, which is a brand new frontier, is even more complex. And then on top of that, we're in a world now where investors want to do more, but with less partners. So what that means is that there will be a barbell in private markets. The large groups will be consolidators and grow by adding groups to its platform. And on the other end, you'll still have these small, more unique, monoline, single product groups and funds out there. Those will always exist. And the middle will be pushed to one direction or the other. At Ardian, we are and see ourselves as a consolidator, not someone to be consolidated. We have already demonstrated that we manage multiple products, multiple lines of business within the same house, and we do it very successfully, which we're very proud of. And so that makes us a natural home for other groups who would look to join a bigger group to help them expand their footprint, expand their franchise. We're very cautious. We're taking our time. We're not in a rush to do anything, but certainly there's a lot of opportunity for us. And if we go and look 10 years forward, I would expect to see the Ardian name even larger than it is today, and maybe more product offerings than we had before. So definitely on this side of the barbell and not the other.
Excellent.
Next question for you. How would you sum up your career at Ardian so far?
Dynamic and exciting. I joined Ardian in 2012 as an analyst, and since then I had the opportunity to work in 3 offices. Now a director in the team, my role and responsibilities have expanded and diversified, which keeps the day-to-day extremely exciting and passionate. And I would also say that aside of this, I've been able to be fully engaged with the Ardian Foundation, trying to promote positive impacts within local communities. And this has been a tremendous experience. So in my view, it shows that at Ardian, nothing is set in stone. Hard work, loyalty, flexibility, all rewarded. And there are many ways you can contribute to the growth and the success of the companies. And our strength is that we are a people business in everything we do. And as long as we keep focusing on that, I think we'll be unstoppable. What does it mean for you to be an architect of lasting change?
We've grown the company from an idea back in 1996 to where we are today. But we've always done it in a way where that success is not at the expense of something or someone else. And that's very important. we are growing, helping companies grow around the world. And whether that's by providing them debt financing or helping the overall private equity ecosystem through secondaries, or for our direct infrastructure investments, or partnering with world-class entrepreneurs through our buyout activity. These are stories of growth. These are stories of helping European champions become worldwide champions, about supporting the biggest companies in the world in their growth stories, about supporting very local companies in different parts of the market achieve their growth plans. And that's what an architect of lasting change is. It's not in and out, make a quick profit, and then see what happens next. That's not us. We're long-term investors, we're long-term thinkers, and when we say lasting change, is success, but success for ourselves and all of those that we're working with to create something larger than when we started.
I would say you need to have the lenses of someone who projects itself longer than what most people would do. You need to anticipate the impacts, the collateral impacts that are wide and long. Once you have this vision, as an architect, you need to be able to share this vision, to share these ideas with the people you work with, and not force them to follow you, but invite them to follow you, to make sure that we are all rowing in the same direction. And that ultimately, of course, we have short and mid-term requirements, but ultimately what we know and want is have positive impact in a distant future.
Charles, thank you. I've really enjoyed this discussion, and we've worked together for many, many years, but it's even through sitting together in moments like this that you learn something new, and hearing your perspectives on Ardian has been very valuable to me, so thank you.
I like to learn from you, Mark, and I value our friendship. Thank you.